Good day, 7 Honesty. Welcome to our online class. And for our lesson 4, we will have this pre recorded class since most of us experience poor internet connection because of the current typhoon. So I will give you 1 week to watch this pre recorded lesson and to answer the activities after you watch this video. And also, please submit your activities on our Google Classroom. Before we start, I would like to formally introduce myself. I am JD Torano. You can call me Teacher Jade. I am a third-year college student at University of Caloocan City taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. We are currently having our practice teaching, so later on you will also meet my two other classmates to also discuss our module for today. Before we start our discussion, let's bow our head and feel the presence of God. Father God, as we start this new day for new learning, we ask for your guidance. Lead us all the way. May you let us see through your eyes, listen through your ears, and speak with your mouth. Be with us as we explore the world. Give us the heart to love and be kind to one another. Please watch over all our teachers, children, and families. In Jesus' name, amen. So for our attendance checking, I will create a poll in our group chat and please answer the poll if you are done watching this pre-recorded lesson and answering the activities. Again, I will only give you a week to do it and after a week, I will delete the poll and consider it as our attendance. And our topic for today is about determining the truthfulness and accuracy of the material viewed. I prepare here a short activity to increase your attention and focus. You will arrange the jumbled letters to form a word. So let's begin. If your answer is fake news, then it's correct. The correct answer is fabricated content. Let's proceed to the next jumbled letters. If your answer is accuracy, then you're correct. The correct answer is satire. This will be the last word for our activity, and later on during our discussion, you will know the meaning of these words. So, what do you need to know about this module? This module was designed and written with you in mind. It is here to help you master and how to determine the truthfulness and accuracy of the material viewed, since fake news is very timely nowadays. The scope of this module permits it to be used in many different learning situations, such as real life situations. The language used recognizes the diverse vocabulary level of the students. The lessons are arranged to follow the standard sequence of the courses, but the order in which you read them can be changed to correspond to the textbook you are now using. The module is divided into two lessons, namely Lesson 1, Truthfulness and Accuracy in Writing News, Lesson 2, Tenets or Principles of Newswriting. By the end of this module, you are expected to learn the tenets in news writing, recognize truthfulness and accuracy in writing news and how distinguish it from fake news, and differentiate facts from opinion as well as reality versus fantasy on various viewed materials. Now let's begin our discussion about truthfulness and accuracy. Truth is the reality behind facts, while facts are the available data. The main difference between fact and truth is that fact is something that exists in real form, while truth is the true state of a particular thing or a matter like person, places, things, or even event. Well, facts are the things that can be seen visually and can be verified properly. To put it simply, facts exist in reality, whereas truth are usually the things that one believes to be true or the things that are true in the current situation. Truth may include fact, but it can also include belief. For example, in the statement, the Philippines has 7,107 islands, that is fact. But if I say that the most beautiful country that I've ever been is Philippines, that is truth because that is based on my personal experience. Now, accuracy is being exact and free from error. It is also means that not only getting the objectively verifiable information such as name, places, a date of birth, codes, or results, but it is also means that accurately reporting opinions by those who you report. I think we are all aware that there are some cases that the victims are victim of fabricated opinion because the reporters are fabricating their statement to put the blame on them. You shouldn't fabricate someone's opinion. You should report it accurately, precisely, and present it in a well manner. Here are the indications that the material viewed is accurate and true. First one, the same information can be found in other reliable sources. You should take note of the main topic, important information, supporting information, and facts of the material viewed. Do your research and compare it to multiple sources. Are the information from the material viewed present on the other sources? If so, then you have a truthful and accurate material. Number two, the sources used for documentation are known to be generally reliable. Establishing a credible and reliable multimedia sources can be very challenging because they often present a combination of truth, facts, opinions, or even perspective of a person. That's why it is important that we must not trust anonymous sources. Take note of the number one and make sure that important information can be found in other multiple sources. Third, the author of the information is known to have expertise on the subject. Determining the knowledge and the expertise of the author or the speaker on the multimedia source can be very challenging, but it is really important. Why? Because anyone can give or make their statement about anything, but not anyone can give a reliable and credible statement or assertion. So it is really necessary to know if the author or speaker is knowledgeable and expert enough in that field. You should research the person who is making the statement. We all don't want to trust somebody purely because they said so, right? Number four, the presentation is free from logical fallacies or errors. An important aspect of accuracy is the intellectual integrity of the material. Fallacies are common errors in reasoning that will undermine the logic of your argument. Fallacies can be either illegitimate arguments or irrelevant points and are often identified because they lack evidence that supports their claims. That's why logical claims should be avoided. We are now done discussing about the indications of truthfulness and accuracy. Now we are going to talk about the indications that information may not be accurate and true. First, facts can be verified or be contradicted on other sources. That's why checking information from other multiple sources is a must to make sure that the information of your material viewed are not contradicting. You should be thorough on checking even on the supporting details. Second, sources used are known to be unreliable or highly biased. We often hear this word, especially nowadays, biased. A lot of people are saying that some news network, news information, or news website are highly biased. To avoid this, we should do our part to do our research. If you are doubting, then browse. If you are doubting someone's assertion, then go to the internet and view the multiple news website to check if they release or present the same information. Third, sources used or cited are inadequate or non-existent. Are the sources appropriately cited in the text and listed in the references? Establishing the accuracy is an important part of evaluating the reliability of a source. Fact-checking source is relatively very straightforward, so might as well do it. Fourth, quotations are taken out of context and given a different meaning. Quotations should be in context. The meaning of the original work is kept in the work which quotes the original. To put it simply, quotations should be correctly cited. Fifth, presence of one or more logical fallacies. Fallacies are statements that might sound reasonable or superficially true, but are actually flawed and dishonest. That's why it is really important to know the person who is giving the statement. Do some research about the person and check if he or she is reliable enough to believe his statement. Fake news is really, really timely because everyone has a freedom of expression and we are all engaged in social media platforms. Because you share, post, or even believe in some information, please do fact check. You are using social media, so it means that you are also capable to go on any browser and check if the information is true. That won't hurt you, right? And if you know or saw someone who is sharing fake news, please call them out in a nice way because having an argument in social media platforms won't help because it will only show that you are not media literate because you're not using the platform correctly. That's it. We are now done discussing the truthfulness and accuracy, and now Teacher Laika will continue the discussion. Bye for now and see you next time.
Good day, grade 7 Honesty. I am Laika Meikin and you can call me Teacher Laika. I am also from University of Caloocan City, currently taking Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. So now, we will move on to our discussion, which is about news writing. First, let's find out what is news writing. News writing is a form of non-fiction writing used to report news and factual events. News writing is the style of writing used to report news stories. It can be utilized in newspaper articles, television reports, radio scripts, and even on news websites. The purpose of news writing is to inform and educate the readers on current affairs or events. It is used to provide readers with information they need to know about the world around them. We have the ABCs of news writing. So these are some principles of news writing you must apply every time to keep your article organized and well written. First is accuracy. A news article should be precise and a presentation of true facts. You cannot get a fact wrong, misspell a name, or omit a vital piece of information. You cannot distort the truth and misinform the public. So in order to make sure you stay accurate, always double check any numbers, spelling of names, who said what, and the other basic facts of your story. And in order to have a good story and to be a good news writer, accuracy is the key. And the second one is brevity. It is about the simplicity of your news article. It should be brief and concise because the longer a sentence is, the more difficult it is to understand. And the next one is clarity. It means that you should have all your facts and have them organized before you start writing. Your story should leave no question unanswered and should avoid jargon so that your article will be accessible for readers of all levels. So now, let us move on to the elements of news writing. So we have 6 elements which are the headline, subhead, byline, lead statement, body, and ending. So the first element is the headline. The headline is basically the title of the news article. The headline should be short and doesn't include a lot of detail and should catch the reader's attention. So here is an example of a headline, the one in the red box. It is normally not a complete sentence and it just tries to summarize the main idea or subject of the article. It is also often printed in bold and larger letters than the rest of the article, and the major words are capitalized. So it is very important to create a catchy headline that will draw the readers in because they are the first thing that people look at when they see a newspaper or news article online. So the next element is the subhead. So it is a text placed under a headline, often with a smaller font, which expands on what the headline says. So here is an example of a subhead. So it is located underneath the main headline and its purpose is to expand on the main points that the headline addresses to provide more specific detail or information regarding the topic presented. The third element is the byline. It shows who wrote the news article. So it just basically tells us who is the author of the article. It lends credibility to a news story. It also lets people know who to contact if they have additional information about that news story. So this is an example of a byline. It is located underneath the headline And aside from the writer's name, it may also include the address of the author and the publication or news source for which he or she writes. Another element is the lead statement. It is an introductory sentence that summarizes the key details of a news story. It answers the questions who, what, when, where, why, and how. A lead statement is an opening paragraph that gives the readers the most important information of the news story in a concise and clear manner. It is a hook that also pulls the readers in to read the article. So here is an example of a lead statement. It may be brief but informative. It is meant to give a reader a quick summary of the story as few words as possible. It should be 30 words or less and usually in one sentence. And you need to remember before writing a lead, you need to ask the fundamental questions of news writing. The who, what, when, where, why, and how. Be sure to answer these questions in your lead and leave the less important information for later in your article. The next one is the body. Everything that comes after the lead is the body of the news article. It includes facts and quotations. In the body, it includes a more detailed of what happened, how people reacted, and why the event is significant. It contains the so-called supporting paragraphs. They develop the ideas introduced by the lead and give more information in the form of explanations, details, giving facts or quotes. So this is an example of the body of a news article. So once you have created the lead, give the reader more information in the body of your article. This is your opportunity to elaborate on what else you know about the story, to present the information in decreasing order of importance. The least important details should appear at the end of the article. Use direct and indirect quotes from sources to tell the reader of the origin of the information, and remember to maintain an objective tone. The last element of news writing is the ending. So it is about ending your article with a summary of the facts and answers to any questions that the article may have raised. Having a strong ending or conclusion in your article is also important. So there are many ways to end a news, such as reiterating the main point, putting a kicker quote, or a well-said phrase to end it. Avoid ending with a cliche statement. Instead, use a powerful quote for last. If it is a crime story, potential questions should be answered and provide the reader with a sense of closure at the end of the story. So our last topic is the news article structure. So in news writing, we use what is called the inverted pyramid for writing the events of the story, which information is presented in descending order of importance. And this allows the audience to read the most crucial details quickly so they can decide whether to continue or stop reading the story. And instead of writing in strict chronological order, the newspaper article usually begins with the most important facts of the story. At the top of the pyramid contains the who, what, where, when, and how of the events. Your lead should also offer these key points as quickly as possible, getting to the essence of your story in approximately 30 words or 1 to 2 short paragraphs. You can also use an enticing quote or provocative detail that encourages people to keep reading. Then continue with the body of your news article, where you offer supporting details, quotes from sources, and additional information. And it should be organized in terms of importance also, with the most essential info appearing in earlier in the story. And the final paragraph of your news article will provide the extra information, links to prior reporting on the subject, a kicker that ends your story on an intriguing, humorous, or impactful note. And that's all for today's discussion. If you have questions or concern, you can just PM me about it as this is a pre-recorded lesson. Thank you, class!
Good day, I am Claire Garcia Ñasco, or you can call me Teacher Claire for short. I am also from University of Caloocan City, currently taking up the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. For today, I will going to discuss about 7 types of information disorders. So sit back and listen carefully. Let us start. The first on the list is the fabricated content. New content is 100% false, designed to deceive and do harm. It is about making new content as if it is true or replica. Making a replica, right? For example, there is a memo about a holiday, and you came up with the idea, why not I made another memo about holiday? Do other people will believe that? And then you replicate it, the memo, and so you make new one. You make new holiday yourself, and you posted it online. Oh, a lot of people will see that and say, "Oh, there's a memo about the holiday. Yes, there will be no classes." A lot of people will be hooked to that. Remember that. Especially those people who do not fact check, who do not search for the fact information, will definitely make believe to that, which is very alarming. That is why we must learn how to fact check at all times. The next one will be the imposter content, when genuine sources are impersonate. This will came up to the poster thing. You're making a new account naming to that person in order to troll or to status anything. Let me give you an example. Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of us know Mark Zuckerberg as a genuine source of information, especially about the community guidelines of Facebook or anything about Facebook. And you came up to the idea that why not make a new account naming after him and try to post a clickbait or inf- false information to see if other people will believe to that. And you posted a status that do this in order to lock your account or to secure your account. But it is about the hacking and knockout. If you click that link, it will automatic hack the account of that person. A lot of people will be hooked to that. I'm telling you. Because the name is Mark Zuckerberg. Even though they will not fact check if it is verified or not, but the name is Mark Zuckerberg, they will definitely believe to that status. And to assure their account, they will click that link, which can lead to hacking their account and phishing, taking their important information. Then last, the third one, is the misleading content. Misleading use of information to frame an issue or individual. This can be an example for this can be red tagging. Red tagging someone for doing this. Uh, Accusing someone for doing this thing without any basis, without any evidence. You just want to accuse that person, which is very misleading because even though there is no fact or basis of that, a lot of people can make believe to that, will believe to that information, to that content, even though there is no fact about it. That is why I am always saying this to always do fact checking at all times. The fourth one is the satire or parody. No intention to cause harm, but has the potential to fool. For example, is the joke about the zombie apocalypse when you get injected of the coronavirus vaccine. And also about the video of President Trump that singing the Shake It Off song of Taylor Swift. Even though it wasn't real, it looks real because it came from his different speeches in different time. And then the next one will be the false context. When genuine context is shared with false contextual information. You can have genuine content or picture, video like that, but the contexts are not. Because we all know that context is the circumstances or the event of that showed picture. The six information disorders will be the false content. When headlines, visuals, and captions do not support the content. In here, we can use the clickbait to further elaborate this false content because a lot of us are being hooked with just looking the pictures or looking just the caption of it and not reading the whole news, which can lead definitely to the disinformation or misinformation to us. Especially nowadays, it is very relevant and emerging in the social media, the clickbait. That is why we must fact check at all times. And last, manipulated content. When genuine information or imagery is manipulated to deceive. Just like, for example, splicing the video to make it look real. No? Who knows who really doubt the video? Because video, right? We all know that video do not lie. But nowadays, it can lie by just manipulating and splicing the video to make it look more realistic. That is why, just like what I'm always saying, always fact check. And that ends our discussion. Do you have any questions or clarification? If you have, don't hesitate to message me or the other teachers in order to solve or to answer your confusions. For the elaborate part, read an article from any newspaper and fill in the following boxes. What is the byline, lead sentence, body, quotation or call out, and close. Do this in a clean paper, capture it and send it to our GC. And for our evaluate part, share your insight about the lesson and your experiences in the learning process. Complete each open-ended statement about your experience in the module. Newswriting is information disorders must. We have to fact check in order to do this also in a clean paper, capture it and send it to our GC. Thank you for listening. 7 Honesty. Once again, if you have any queries, don't hesitate to call out us. Again, I am Teacher Claire. Thank you so much and bye.